The sky changes first. It loses its depth. The blue becomes pale and thin. The sun rises later each morning. It sets earlier each evening. The warmth drains away slowly. Day by day, the world transforms. The tribe notices. They always notice. Their survival depends on reading these signs. An old woman stands at the cave entrance. She watches the horizon. Her skin remembers 50 winters. Her bones ache with the coming cold. She knows what approaches. The birds leave first. Great flocks rise from the marshlands. They circle once, twice, then disappear southward. Their cores fade into silence. The sky empties. Only the crows remain. They perch in dead trees. They watch with black eyes. They know about winter. They know about death. The leaves turn brown. They fall in waves. The forest floor becomes a carpet of decay. The trees stand bare. Their branches reach upwards like skeletal hands. The wind moves through them differently now. It whistles. It moans. It carries the scent of ice from distant mountains. The animals change their behavior. The deer grow thick coats. They move lower into the valleys. The bears eat constantly. They gorge themselves on final berries and roots. They search for caves. They test the depths of hollow trees. Soon they will sleep. Soon they will vanish until spring. The tribe's children play near the cave. They notice the changes too. A young girl finds frost on a stone. She touches it with her finger. The ice melts instantly. She looks up at her mother. Her eyes ask a question. Her mother nods slowly. Yes, it is coming. The hunters return from their scouting. They gather around the central fire. Their news is grim. The herds are moving. The massive beasts that sustained the tribe are leaving. They migrate to warmer lands. The hunters saw their tracks leading south. Hundreds of prints in the soft earth. All heading away, the chief stands. He is a broad man with greying hair. Scars cross his chest and arms. Each one tells a story of survival. He speaks slowly. His voice carries weight. The tribe must prepare. They must gather. They must hunt. Winter shows no mercy to the unprepared. The women begin their work immediately. They repair the leather hides that cover the cave entrance. They check every seam. They patch every hole. Cold air finds the smallest gaps. It sneaks in like a predator. It steals warmth. It steals life. The children are sent to gather firewood. They work in groups. They drag dead branches back to the cave. They pile them high against the rock walls. Never enough. There is never enough wood. The fires must burn for months. The fires are life itself. An elder man sits working stone. He shapes a new blade. His hands move with practiced skill. The flint chips away in precise flakes. This blade will skin animals. It will cut meat. It will help the tribe survive. Tools matter. In winter, everything matters. The temperature drops. Further, morning brings white breath. Puddles freeze overnight. They crack under footsteps. The ground hardens. Digging becomes difficult. The tribe works faster. Urgency replaces the lazy pace of summer. A young hunter climbs the high ridge. He looks north. Dark clouds gather on the horizon. They build like mountains. They promise snow. He returns quickly. He reports what he saw. The tribe has perhaps 10 days, maybe less. The chief calls a meeting. Every adult attends. They discuss strategy. Who will hunt? Who will gather? Who will fortify the shelter? Who will watch the children? Roles are assigned. Arguments are brief. Survival requires cooperation. Personal disputes wait for spring. The women process the last of the autumn harvest. They pound roots into paste. They dry strips of meat over smoky fires. They collect every edible plant within walking distance. Nothing is wasted. A handful of seeds might mean the difference between hunger and starvation. Night falls earlier now. The darkness lasts longer. The tribe sits closer to the fire. They eat their evening meal in silence. They think about the months ahead. They remember previous winters. Some were mild, some were brutal. No one knows what this winter will bring. A baby cries. Its mother holds it close. She wraps it in soft rabbit fur. The infant is barely 2 months old. This will be its first winter. The mother's face shows worry. The other women gather around. They offer reassurance. They share wisdom. They have kept babies alive through cold before. The old woman who watches the sky speaks. She tells of a winter. From her youth, snow fell for 20 days without stopping. The drifts rose higher than a man. 3 members of the tribe died. They ran out of food. They grew weak. The cold took them in their sleep. She tells this story as warning, as motivation. As truth, the fire crackles. Sparks rise into the darkness. They dance like orange stars before fading. The tribe sits in a circle. They feel the bond between them. They are family. They are survival partners. They will face the cold together. They will endure together. Or they will perish together. The wind picks up. It blows from the north. It carries the smell of snow. It carries the promise of winter. The tribe feels it. Every man, woman, and child knows what approaches. The season of death has begun its descent. The time of testing is here. Tomorrow, the real work begins. The hunters wake before dawn. 6 men rise from their sleeping places. They move quietly. They do not wake the others. The air inside the cave is cold. Their breath makes small clouds. They gather their weapons in silence. The chief hunter is called Kra. He has seen 30 winters. His body is lean and strong. Scars mark his arms and legs. Each scar tells a story. Each one represents survival. He checks his spear. The stone point is sharp. The binding is tight. This weapon has killed. Many times before, the other hunters prepare. They wear thick furs. They tie leather wraps around their legs. They carry stone blades at their waists. They bring rope made from twisted plant fibers. They will need everything they carry. There are no second chances in winter. The sky begins to lighten. Grey replaces black. The hunters step outside. The cold hits them immediately. It takes their breath. Their eyes water. They blink away the moisture. Their bodies adjust slowly. Frost covers everything. The rocks glisten white. The sparse grass stands frozen and brittle. Each footstep crunches. The sound carries in the still air. They must move carefully. Sound travels far on cold mornings. Kraw leads them north. He knows where the herds gather. He has hunted these lands his entire life. His father taught him. His grandfather taught his father. Knowledge passes through generations. It keeps people alive. They walk for an hour. The sun rises behind them. It provides no warmth. It is a pale circle in the grey sky. The light reveals a changed landscape. Winter is transforming their world. Snow patches appear. Small drifts collect in shadows. The ground is harder now. Frozen. Solid in places. Walking becomes more difficult. Legs tire faster. But they push forward. Kraw stops. He kneels. He examines the ground. Tracks. Large tracks. Deep impressions in the half-frozen earth. Bison. A small herd passed through recently. Perhaps during the night. The tracks are fresh. The hunters gather. Around they study the signs. Kraw counts the tracks. Maybe 8 animals. Maybe 10. The herd is moving slowly. They are grazing as they travel. This is good. This means the hunters can catch them. They follow the trail. The tracks lead northeast, toward the river valley. Bison often shelter near water. The valley provides protection from wind. There is still grass there, brown and dry, but edible. The wind picks up. It blows from the north. It carries tiny ice crystals. They sting exposed skin. The hunters pull their furs tighter. They lower their heads. They keep moving. Another hunter named Dren speaks quietly. He points to the sky. More. Clouds are building, dark and heavy. They roll in from the mountains. A storm is coming. Everyone sees it. Everyone understands. They must hunt quickly. The tracks become fresher. The eddies are sharp. The animals are close now. Very close. Kraw signals for silence. Hand gestures only. The hunters spread out. They form a loose line. They move like shadows. They crest a small rise. Below them, the river valley opens up. And there, near the frozen stream, the bison herd grazes. 9 massive animals, brown and shaggy. Their breath rises in great clouds. They paw at the snow. They search for grass beneath the hunters crouch low. They are downwind. The bison cannot smell them. This is crucial. Bison have poor eyesight but excellent noses. Scent betrays hunters more than sound. Kraw studies the herd. He looks for weakness. Old animals. Young animals. Injured animals. His eyes settle on a large female. She stands at the edge of the group. She limps slightly. Her left rear leg favors her weight. She is the target. He signals to the others. They understand immediately. Years of hunting together create silent language. They know their roles. They know the plan. 3 hunters will. Circle left. 3 will stay right. They will drive the herd. They will separate the weak one. The maneuver begins. The hunters move like wolves, patient, calculated. They use every rock for cover, every depression in the ground. They become part of the landscape. The left group reaches position. They wait. Timing matters. Rush too soon and the herd scatters. Wait too long, an opportunity vanishes. Craw watches. He feels the moment. He rises. His shout breaks the silence. The other hunters echo him. The bison startle. Their heads snap up. Panic floods through the herd. They bunch together. They begin to run. The injured female falls behind. She tries to keep pace. Her bad leg betrays her. The gap widens. The hunters close in. Their legs pump. Their lungs burn. The cold air sears their throats. Craw is fastest. He closes the distance. The female sees him. She turns. She tries to change direction. Too slow. Crow throws his spear. Years of practice guide the weapon. The stone point strikes true. It sinks deep into her shoulder. The bison bellows. Pain and rage combine. She spins. Blood sprays across the snow, bright red against pure white. She charges at Craw, massive and furious. Death approaching on 4 legs. Craw dodges. Barely. The bison's horn scrapes his side. His fur tears. He rolls away. Another hunter throws his spear. Then another. Both strike the animal's flank. She staggers. Dren moves in close. Very close. Dangerous close. He thrusts his spear upward. Into the chest. Between the ribs. Toward the heart. The bison's front legs buckle. She goes down. The hunters surround her. They wait. She kicks twice. Her breath comes in gasps. Her eyes roll. Then stillness. The fight ends. The hunt succeeds. The hunters stand panting. Their bodies steam in the cold. Sweat freezes on their skin. They look at each other. Grins break across their faces. They survived. They won. They have meat. But celebration is brief. Craw points at the sky. The storm clouds are closer. Much closer. The wind grows stronger. Snow begins to fall. Light flakes at first, then heavier. They must work fast. Butchering takes time. This animal weighs more than 10 men combined. They cannot carry everything. They must choose. They must prioritize. Stone blades come out. Sharp edges gleam. The hunters begin cutting. They work with practiced efficiency. The hide comes off in sections. The best meat is removed. Organs are carefully extracted. The liver, the heart, the kidneys. These provide vital nutrition. Blood stains the snow. It pulls and freezes. The hunter's hands go numb. They ignore the pain. They keep cutting, keep working. Their survival depends on speed. They bundle the meat in the animal's own hide. They create packs they can carry. Each hunter takes a load. Heavy loads, impossibly heavy. But fear provides strength. The storm provides motivation. The journey back begins. The snow falls. Harder. Visibility drops. The wind howls. It pushes against them. Every step requires effort. The meat weighs them down. Their legs shake. Kraw leads by memory. He knows these lands, but the snow obscures landmarks. Everything looks the same, white and grey and endless. He trusts his instincts. He walks steadily south. One hunter falls. The weight and exhaustion combine. The others help him up. They redistribute his load. No one is left behind. This is the unspoken rule, the absolute law. Hours pass. Terrible, grinding hours. Cold seeps through their furs. Their fingers lose feeling. Their faces go numb. Frostbite threatens, but stopping means death. They push forward. Dren sees it first. A dark shape in the swirling snow. The cave. Home. Relief floods through them. They stumble faster. The last 100 paces feel like miles. They enter the cave. Warmth hits them. The central fire burns bright. The tribe has kept it strong. Faces turn toward them. Eyes widen. They see the meat. They see success. The hunters drop their loads. They collapse. Their bodies give out. Women rush forward. Children crowd around. Everyone wants to see. Everyone wants to touch the meat. The chief comes forward. He examines the kill. He nods at Craw. Approval in that single gesture. Pride in that simple nod. The tribe will eat. The tribe will survive another week. Maybe 2. The women take over. They hang the meat from the cave ceiling. Away from scavengers, they begin processing it. Some for immediate eating, some for preservation. Every part will be used. Nothing wasted. The hunters sit by the fire. They warm their frozen hands. They drink hot broth. The feeling returns too. Their fingers and toes. Pain comes with it. Sharp and burning. They endure it silently. Outside, the storm intensifies. Wind screams past the cave entrance. Snow piles against the rocks. The leather hide covering the entrance flaps and strains. But inside, there is warmth. There is food. There is safety. Child approaches Craw. A small boy. He stares with wide eyes. He touches Craw's torn fur. He sees the scrape from the bison's horn. His mouth forms an O of wonder. Craw smiles. He ruffles the boy's hair. This is why they hunt. This is why they risk death. For the children. For the old ones. For the tribe. Individual survival means nothing. The group is everything. The meat roasts over the fire. Fat drips and sizzles. The smell fills the cave. Mouths water. Stomachs growl. Soon they will feast. Soon they will celebrate. But first they rest. Craw closes his eyes. His body aches. Every muscle protests. But satisfaction fills him. They succeeded. They brought food home. They completed the last great hunt before the deep winter. The storm rages outside. Let it rage. Let the snow fall. Let the cold descend. The tribe is ready. They have meat. They have fire. They have each other. This hunt might sustain them for weeks. It might mean the difference between survival and starvation. No one knows what the winter will bring. No one can predict the future. But today they won. Today they live. And in the primitive world, today is all that matters. The storm passes after 3 days. The snow stops falling. The wind dies down. The tribe emerges cautiously. They squint against the brightness. Snow covers everything. The world looks different now. Transformed. Dangerous. The work begins immediately. Winter preparation cannot wait. Every day matters. Every hour counts. The tribe divides into groups. Each group has specific tasks. Organization means survival. The women examine the cave entrance. The leather hide covering took damage in the storm. Wind tore several seams. Snow forced its way through gaps. Cold air invaded their shelter. This cannot happen again. An older woman named Mira leads this work. She has repaired shelters for 20 winters. Her hands know the work. Her eyes spot every weakness. She directs the younger women. They listen carefully. They learn by doing. They take down the damaged hide. It is stiff with ice. They carry it to the fire. The heat makes the leather pliable again. They can work with it now. They can repair the tears bone needles come out. Thread made from animal sinew. The women sit in a circle. They stitch the tears closed. Their fingers move quickly. They push. Needles through tough leather. They pull thread tight. Each stitch must be perfect. Weak stitching means cold air. Cold air means death. While they work, others gather moss. They find it on the north side of rocks. They peel it away carefully. Moss provides insulation. They stuff it into cracks in the cave walls. Every tiny gap gets filled. The cave must become a sealed chamber. The men focus on firewood. They need mountains of it. What they have is not enough. It is never enough. They venture into the forest. They search for dead trees. Dead wood burns best. Green wood smokes and sputters. A young man named Torg swings a stone axe. He strikes a dead trunk repeatedly. The impacts echo through the forest. Chips of wood fly. His arms burn with effort. Sweat forms despite the cold. He ignores the discomfort. The work must continue. Other men drag fallen branches. They create trails through the snow. Long paths marked by dragged wood. Back and forth. Trip after trip. Their backs ache. Their hands blister. They keep working. Children help too. Even the smallest ones. They gather kindling, dry twigs and bark, pine cones that will catch fire easily. They fill baskets. They carry them back to the cave. Everyone contributes. Everyone has value. By afternoon, wood piles grow. They stack it along the cave walls, high stacks that reach toward the ceiling. The cave begins to shrink. Storage takes space. But space is less important than fuel. Inside the cave, women organize food storage. The meat from the hunt hangs from the ceiling. They wrap it in bark. This protects it from insects, from moisture, from mold. Preserved meat can last months if stored correctly. Dried roots go into leather pouches. They stack these near the back wall, the coldest part of the cave. Natural refrigeration. The cold preserves. It prevents rot. Nuts and seeds fill clay pots. These pots are precious. Making them takes skill and time. They seal with wooden lids. They keep contents dry. They protect from rodents. A woman counts the supplies. She uses stones to track quantities. 1 stone for each pouch of roots. 1 for each bundle of dried fish. The counting is important. They need to know what they have. They need to ration carefully. The chief watches this inventory. His face shows concern. They have food, but is it enough? 6 months of winter stretch ahead, maybe 7. No one knows how harsh this winter will be. He makes a decision. Starting tomorrow, 1 meal per day, not 2. Rationing begins now, while they still have surplus. Better to be cautious early. Starvation at winter's end kills many tribes. The sleeping areas need attention. The tribe sleeps in a specific arrangement. This is not random. This is survival strategy. The weakest sleep closest to the fire. Infants and small children. The very old. Those who are sick. Adults sleep in the middle ring. They provide a barrier. Their bodies block drafts. They generate warmth. They protect the vulnerable. The strongest hunters sleep near the entrance. They endure the coldest positions. They wake first if danger approaches. They are the first defense. This hierarchy never changes. Women spread fresh pine boughs on the ground. These create mattresses. They provide insulation from the cold stone floor. They replace old bows that have compressed and lost their cushioning. Furs are distributed. Each family gets a share. Thick bear hides for the children. Wolf pelts for the adults. Rabbit skins sewn together for extra layers. Everyone must stay warm through the night. The fire pit requires work. It sits in the center of the cave. Stones ring it. These stones were carefully chosen. They hold heat. They radiate warmth long after flames die down. But some stones have cracked. The extreme heat damages them over time. Cracked stones can explode, send sharp fragments flying, cause injuries. The men remove the damaged ones. They bring new stones from the river, smooth and solid. The warning comes at dawn. The air feels wrong, too still, too heavy. The pressure changes. Animals sense it first. Birds that remained through autumn flee. They rise in frantic groups. Their calls sound panicked. Even the crows abandon there. Perches, got KRAW, stands outside the cave. He tastes the air, metal on his tongue, the taste of coming snow. His joints ache. Old injuries throb. His body predicts weather better than his eyes. A massive storm approaches, perhaps the worst of the season. He returns to the cave quickly. He finds the chief. They speak in low tones. The chief's face hardens. He knows what this means. He has survived 40 winters. He recognizes the signs. This storm will trap them inside. For days, maybe a week. The chief raises his voice. Everyone stops. Everyone listens. The blizzard comes. They must secure everything. Now, immediately. No delays. The tribe erupts into controlled chaos. Everyone knows their emergency roles. They have practiced this, prepared for this moment. Speed matters now. Organization matters. Men rush to bring in final wood loads. They grab everything nearby. Dead branches, split logs, even greenwood. Anything that burns. They pile it inside until the cave floor disappears beneath fuel. Women grab the drying meat. Some pieces are not ready, still moist, still vulnerable to spoilage. But leaving them outside means losing them. Animals will steal them. Snow will ruin them. Everything comes inside. Children are sent to fill water containers. They run to the stream. They use hollowed gourds, clay pots, animal bladders, anything that holds liquid. Once the storm hits, Leaving the cave becomes impossible. They need water for days. The wind begins gentle at first, a whisper through the trees. Then stronger, a moan, a howl. It builds like a living thing. Like a predator circling. Temperature plummets. The drop is sudden, shocking. Breath becomes visible fog. Exposed skin stings. Fingers go numb within minutes. The cold announces the storm's arrival. The first snowflakes fall, large and soft. They drift lazily, almost peaceful, but more follow than more. Within minutes the air fills with white. Visibility shrinks. The forest disappears. The world becomes a swirling void. The tribe retreats inside. The hunters enter last. They pull the leather hides tight. They secure every fastening. They add the extra layer. The interior darkness deepens. Only firelight remains. The storm intensifies. Wind screams past the cave mouth. It sounds almost human. Anguished wails and shrieks. The leather hide strains against its bindings. It flaps and snaps. The noise is constant, overwhelming. Snow drives. Horizontally, it finds every tiny gap. Fine powder forces through the leather weaving. It dusts the cave floor near the entrance, creates small drifts. The tribe watchers with concern. They cannot stop this invasion. The fire becomes their universe. They feed it constantly. Wood disappears at an alarming rate. The cold outside is so intense it steals heat from the cave. The flames must fight harder, burn hotter, consume more fuel. Smoke becomes a problem. The usual draw through the ceiling hole weakens. The storm disrupts normal airflow. Smoke gathers in the cave's upper reaches. Eyes water. Throats burn. They cough. But they cannot reduce the fire. Cold is more dangerous than smoke. The first, they pass us slowly. Time becomes strange. Without sun, without normal rhythms, hours blend together. The tribe sits in their designated areas. They wait. Patience is a survival skill. Children grow restless first. They are used to running, playing, exploring. Now they must sit still, stay quiet, conserve energy. This is torture for young bodies. They squirm and fidget. A little girl begins to cry. She wants to go outside. She does not understand. Her mother holds her, rocks her, sings softly, old songs, wordless melodies. The girl eventually quiets. She falls into fitful sleep. The adults fare better, but tension builds. Too many people. In too small a space, personal conflicts simmer. Old grievances resurface. A young hunter glares at another. Some past dispute, some imagined slight. The chief notices. He moves between them. His presence prevents escalation. Mira tells stories. Her voice cuts through the wind's howl. She speaks of ancient times, of the first people, of how they discovered fire, how they learned to speak, how they survived when the world was even colder. The children gather around her, even the restless. Once her words captivate them, transport them. For a while, they forget the storm, forget the confinement. They live in her stories. Night comes. They know this only because their bodies tell them. Fatigue sets in. Eyelids grow heavy. The fire must be maintained through darkness. The hunters establish a watch rotation. 2 men awake at all times. 1 feeds the fire. 1 watches the entrance. Sleep comes hard. The wind is too loud. The cold too present. The cave floor too hard despite the pine boughs. Bodies shift. Seeking comfort that does not exist. Seeking warmth that is scarce. The baby wakes crying. Hungry. Always hungry. Its mother nurses it. But her own hunger makes her milk weak. Thin. The baby feeds but does not satisfy. It cries again. Other children wake. The mother's face shows exhaustion, desperation. An older woman brings warm broth, made from bones and snow water. She encourages the mother to drink. Liquid helps produce milk. The mother drinks. The broth is barely warm, barely flavored, but it is something. The second day brings no relief. If anything, the storm worsens. The wind reaches new levels of fury. It sounds like raging beasts, like angry spirits. The entire cave vibrates. Small stones fall from the ceiling. Dust rains down. Fear creeps in. What if the storm never stops? What if they run out of wood? What if the cave collapses? These thoughts spread silently, visible in worried eyes, in tense shoulders, in clenched jaws. The chief sits straight. Projects. Confidence. But privately he worries. The woodpiles shrink rapidly. Too rapidly, he calculates. 3 more days, maybe 4. Then they burn sleeping firs. Then they face choices. Terrible choices. Food rationing becomes stricter. 1 small meal. Barely enough to sustain. Stomachs growl constantly. Children whimper. Adults endure silently. Hunger is familiar. Hunger is survivable. For a while, Torg's hands have healed from the axe work. Now they crack from the dry cold. Blood seeps from split skin. He wraps them in leather strips. The bleeding stops, but the pain remains. He says nothing. Complaining helps no one. A hunter notices moisture on the cave walls, condensation from their breath, from their bodies. This moisture freezes, creates a thin layer of ice. The cave becomes a frozen chamber. Beauty and danger combined. Mira leads. The women in work. They cannot hunt, cannot gather, but they can prepare. They sort through supplies. They repair torn clothing. They sharpen stone blades. Idle hands create despair. Work provides purpose. The women sit together. They speak quietly. They share memories of other winters. Some worse than this, some better. They draw strength from survival stories. From knowing others endured. 1 woman speaks of losing her first child to cold 10 winters ago. The baby simply did not wake one morning, frozen in sleep. Her voice breaks. Others reach out, touch her shoulder, her arm. Physical. Connection matters. They grieve together. They heal together. The 3rd day breaks their spirits slightly. The storm continues unabated. White chaos outside. Grey despair inside. Hope becomes harder to maintain. Faith in survival wavers. A young child develops a cough, deep and wet. The sound echoes in the cave. His mother's face shows terror. Winter. Coughs kill. They start small. They grow. They steal breath. They take lives. The healer examines the child. An old woman with knowledge of plants, of remedies. She has dried herbs, stored carefully. She makes a tea, bitter and strong. The child refuses it. She forces him. He must drink. He must fight. The child drinks. He gags. He sputters. But the liquid enters his body. The healer wraps him in extra furs, keeps him near the fire. She monitors his breathing, his color. She has saved children before. She has lost children before. She does what she can. The fire burns lower. Fuel supplies deplete. The chief makes a decision. Smaller fire, colder cave, extended resources, survival over comfort. The tribe huddles closer. They share body heat. They become one organism, one survival unit. Stories continue, but energy for telling wanes. Voices grow hoarse. Throats hurt from smoke and dryness. Still they persist. Stories are medicine. Stories are hope. Stories are memory. Kraw dreams fitfully. He dreams of the hunt, of running through snow, of warm blood on cold ground, of meat and plenty. He wakes to cold and hunger. Reality disappoints. But reality is what they have. The fourth day brings a subtle change. The wind decreases slightly. Not much, but enough to notice. Enough to spark hope. Ears strain, listening for further improvement. Praying for silence. By afternoon, the wind drops to a steady roar instead of a scream. The leather hide stops its violent flapping. Stillness seems possible, seems real. The tribe exchanges glances, cautious optimism. The chief crawls to the entrance. He carefully lifts the hide edge, a tiny gap. Snow immediately blows in, but he can see outside. Barely. The world is still white, still falling, but less violent, less deadly. He drops the hide. He turns to face the tribe. His expression gives them their answer before he speaks. The storm weakens, not over, but weakening. They will survive. They will see the end. Relief flows through the cave, visible, tangible. Shoulders relax. Faces soften. Tears form in some eyes. The trial continues, but the worst has passed. That evening, the coughing child breathes easier. The healer's tea worked, or luck worked, or sheer will worked. The reason does not matter. The child will live. This small victory lifts everyone. The tribe eats their meager ration with less complaint. The end approaches. They can endure. They can last. The wood will suffice. The food will suffice. They are strong enough. The fifth morning brings silence. Actual silence. The wind has stopped. The storm has ended. The sudden quiet feels strange, wrong. Ears ring in the absence of noise. Kraw approaches the entrance again. This time he fully opens the hide. Daylight floods in, blinding and beautiful. The tribe shields their eyes, adjusts slowly. The world outside has transformed. Snow everywhere. drifts higher than a man. The landscape is unrecognizable. Every familiar feature buried, erased. They look upon an alien world, white and pristine and deadly. But the sky shows blue, clear blue. The storm has truly passed. The tribe survived. Every member, every child, every elder. They made it through together. They do not celebrate loudly. They have no energy for celebration. But quiet satisfaction fills the cave. They endured. They protected each other. They remained human in inhuman conditions. The first blizzard has ended. Many more will come, but this one is done, and they are alive, cold, hungry, exhausted, but alive. That is enough. That is everything. The days after the blizzard bring cruel clarity. The tribe emerges to assess their world. Snow covers everything in impossible depths. Walking is exhausting. Each step sinks to the knee, sometimes to the waist. Movement becomes a brutal task. The hunters try to venture out. They search for game, for any sign of life. But the animals have vanished, gone deep into dens, hibernating, or dead, or fled to distant warmer lands. The forest stands empty, silent as a grave. They check their trap. Lines, the snares they set before winter. Snow has buried them all, invisible, useless. Days of work erased by one storm. They dig frantically. They find 3 traps, all empty, all sprung by falling snow. The tribe returns to the cave. Their faces tell the story. No food, no prospects, only what they stored, only what hangs from the ceiling, only what sits in clay pots. They must make it last. They must ration carefully. The chief counts the supplies again. He uses his stones. He moves them slowly. His count confirms his fears. Not enough. Even with strict rationing, even with 1 meal per day, they will run out before spring arrives. Weeks before, he does not share this calculation. Not yet. Fear helps no one. Panic kills faster than hunger. He will wait. He will hope. Perhaps another opportunity will come. Perhaps luck will shift. The moon rises full and bright. It illuminates the frozen landscape. Everything glows silver, beautiful and deadly. This moon marks the deepest part of winter, the coldest nights, the longest darkness. The tribe calls it the moon of hunger. Every winter it appears. Every winter it tests them. Food becomes an obsession. Stomachs growl constantly. Sleep brings dreams of feasting, of plenty, of meat dripping fat. People wake disappointed, wake to cold reality, wake to emptiness. The single daily meal shrinks. Further, what filled a palm now fits in fingers. Barely enough to taste, never enough to satisfy. Children cry after eating, still hungry, always hungry. Mothers have nothing more to give. The baby suffers most. Its mother's milk dries up. Her body has nothing left to convert. She tries to nurse. The infant sucks desperately, gets nothing. Its cries become weaker, more pitiful, more heartbreaking. The women try to help. They chew dried meat until soft. They feed this paste to the baby. Tiny amounts. The baby takes it, swallows. But infant bodies need milk, need fat, need nutrients this pace cannot provide. Mira grows weaker. Her old body has few reserves. Age makes winter harder. She sleeps more, moves less. Her skin seems to hang on her bones. Her eyes sink into her skull. She knows what is happening. She accepts it. This is the way of things, but she still tells stories. Her voice is thin now, barely audible. The children lean close to hear. She speaks of abundance, of spring, of flowers and green grass, of warm sun on skin. She gives them hope. She gives them something beyond hunger. A hunter named Breck volunteers to venture far, to search for game in distant valleys. Perhaps the herd's sheltered somewhere. Perhaps hunting is possible. The chief considers this. The risk is enormous, but starvation is certain. He agrees. Breck leaves at dawn. He carries a spear, a stone blade, nothing else. Weight would slow him. He must move fast, cover distance, return quickly, or not return at all. The tribe watches him go. A small figure against vast white. He grows smaller, smaller, then disappears over a ridge. They pray to spirits, to ancestors, to anything that might listen. Bring him back with food. Days pass. Breck does not return. Hope fades. The tribe assumes the worst. The cold took him, or hunger, or predators, or simple bad luck. They mourn silently. They cannot waste energy on elaborate grief. The fire burns lower, with supplies critical now. They cannot gather more easily. The snow is too deep, the cold too intense. They burn less. The cave grows colder. Ice forms on interior walls. Breath becomes visible even inside. People huddle together constantly. Sharing warmth is survival. Personal space disappears. Bodies press against bodies, creating human walls against cold, creating collective heat. It helps. Barely, but barely is enough. Torgs. Mother develops a fever. Her body shakes. Her teeth chatter. She cannot get warm despite the furs, despite the proximity to fire. The fever burns from within, consumes her remaining strength, consumes her remaining fat. The healer examines her. She recognizes the signs. Starvation, fever, the body eating itself, trying to generate heat, trying to survive. But without food, the body destroys itself. Muscles become fuel, organs become fuel. Death approaches. The healer makes another tea. Her herbs are nearly gone. Only a few precious leaves remain. She must choose. Who gets treatment? Who goes without? These choices haunt her, but she must make them. She gives the tea to Torg's mother. A chance. A small chance. The woman drinks. The liquid burns her throat. She coughs violently, but she keeps it down. She wraps herself tighter. She closes her eyes. She fights. Her body fights. Time will tell if fighting is enough. The children stop playing. They lack energy for play. They sit quietly, stare at nothing. Childhood vitality drains away. They become small, old people, serious, silent, waiting. One boy asks his father when they will eat more. The father has no answer. He pulls his son. Close, he says, spring will come. Spring always comes. The boy asks when. The father says soon. He lies. Spring is months away, but the lie is kindness. The tribe begins eating leather. They take old, worn pieces. They boil them. The leather softens slightly, becomes chewable. It provides almost no nutrition, but it fills the stomach, tricks the body temporarily, delays the inevitable. They scrape hide scraps, collect tiny bits of dried meat, particles that fell, that were missed. They gathered these with desperate care. Every crumb matters. Every fragment could mean another day. The chief notices people eyeing the stored seed. Small amounts save for spring planting. Eating that seed means no crops next year. Means starvation then instead of now. But now is very real, very present, very tempting. He moves the seed, hides it in a far corner, tells only 2 trusted hunters. They will guard it, die before allowing it to be eaten. Future survival demands this sacrifice. Present suffering must be endured. On the 7th day of the moon of hunger, the baby dies. It simply stops breathing during the night. Its mother wakes to cold stillness. She does not scream. She has no energy for screaming. She holds the small body, rocks it, as if warmth could return life. The women come. They gently take the infant. They wrap it in soft rabbit fur. They place it near the cave entrance, the frozen section. It will keep there. When the ground thaws, they will bury it properly. For now, this is all they can do. The mother sits empty. Her arms feel wrong without the weight. Her chest aches with useless milk that finally came. Too late, always too late. Other women sit beside her. No words exist for this loss. Presence is enough. Mira's breathing becomes labored, wet and rattling. She lies on her furs. She does not complain, does not demand attention. She simply fades. Life seeping away like water into sand. The tribe knows. They have seen this before. Young ones are brought to her, one by one. She touches their faces, whispers blessings, passes final wisdom. Her hand trembles with the effort, but she completes this duty, this last gift to the future. That night, Mira stops breathing, peacefully, in sleep. Her face relaxes, tension disappears. She looks younger suddenly. The years fall away. She returns to some earlier self. The tribe covers her with respect, with gratitude. She gave them everything, even her final breath. 2 deaths in one day. The tribe feels the weight. They are fewer now, weaker now, more vulnerable now. But they must continue, must endure, must survive for those who did not. The 8th day brings a miracle. A shout from outside. The hunters rush to the entrance. They peer out. A figure approaches, limping, struggling, but alive. Breck has returned. He collapses at the cave entrance. His lips are blue. His face is white. Frostbite blackens his fingers, his toes, but he smiles. He gestures weakly behind him. There, in the snow, a shape. The hunters rush out. They find his kill. A mountain goat, not large, but fresh, real, actual meat. Breck tracked it for days, followed it to high cliffs, killed it with a desperate throw, then dragged it back. Somehow, against all odds, they bring the goat inside. They bring Breck inside. The tribe crowds around. They cannot believe it. Food, real food, hope made flesh. Tears flow freely. Relief, gratitude, joy. The women butcher immediately. They work with trembling hands. Blood flows. Precious blood. They catch it. Blood soup will feed many. Nothing wastes. Nothing spares. They roast small pieces. The smell fills the cave. Mouths water. Stomachs cramp with anticipation. The weight is agony, but the meat must cook. Raw meat brings sickness. Patience is required. Finally, the meat is ready. The chief distributes it. Tiny portions, barely a bite each. But that bite is everything. Rich, warm, nourishing. People chew slowly, savor every second. Some cry while eating. Breck receives his portion, receives gratitude, receives respect. He risked everything. He saved them, not permanently. This meat will last only days, but days matter. Days a lifetime when death looms close. The healer tends his frostbite. His blackened fingers will probably fall off. His toes are lost. He will be crippled, but he will live. He made the trade willingly, his pain for their survival. No one will forget this sacrifice. Torg's mother survives. The tea worked, or her. Will worked, or the tiny bit of meat worked. Perhaps all three. She is still weak, still fragile, but alive, improving. The fever breaks. She sleeps naturally. Healing sleep. The tribe settles that night with fuller bellies. Not full, but fuller. The difference is profound. Mood lifts. Energy returns slightly. Conversation resumes. Small jokes are made. Laughter sounds strange, foreign, but welcome. The moon of hunger continues. It will continue for weeks more. They are not saved, but they are not finished. They endure. They adapt. They survive. More storms will come. More hunger will come. More death might come. But tonight, they have meat. They have hope. They have each other. The fire burns a bit brighter. Wood is still rationed. But they allow a slightly larger flame. Warmth spreads. Bodies relax marginally. Sleep will come easier tonight. Outside, the moon hangs cold and distant, indifferent to human suffering, indifferent to human triumph. It simply shines, marking time, marking the season. The moon of hunger watches all, judges none. The tribe learned again what they already knew. Survival requires sacrifice, requires courage, requires the few to risk for the many. Breck proved this. Mira proved this. The baby's mother proved this. They carried these lessons. They teach these lessons. They live these lessons. This is how humans persist. This is how they conquer impossible odds. Not through strength alone, but through sacrifice, through love. through unwillingness to surrender. The moon of hunger is not over, but they will face it together. They will face it standing. They will face it human. And that makes all the difference. They step onto the plain. The wind hits immediately. Ferocious, brutal. It steals breath. It pushes them backward. They lean into it. They fight for every step. Progress becomes measured in body lengths, not miles. The cold is different here. Worse. It penetrates every layer, finds every gap in clothing, numbs exposed skin within seconds. Their eyes water, the tears freeze on their cheeks. Ice crystals form on their wrappings. They walk in a tight group, close together, sharing body heat, creating a mobile shelter. The strongest on the outside, taking the worst of the wind, rotating positions regularly, sharing the burden, sharing the pain. Hours pass. Time loses meaning. There is only the next step, the next breath, the next moment of survival. Nothing beyond that, nothing behind that. Just the eternal present of suffering. Sierra stumbles. She catches herself, but barely. Her legs shake. Exhaustion shows. Others are the same. Everyone reaches their limits, but limits must be exceeded, must be pushed beyond reason. Survival demands the impossible. They come to a frozen river. Ice covers it completely. Thick ice, strong ice. Probably safe, probably, but ice is treacherous. Currents flow underneath. Weak spots form. One wrong step means freezing water, means death. Crawl tests the edge. He stamps hard. The ice holds. He ventures further, still solid. He waves the others forward. They cross one at a time, spreading out, distributing weight. Every step careful, every movement calculated. Halfway across, the ice groans. A deep, ominous sound. Everyone freezes. They wait. The groaning continues, but no cracking, no breaking. They breathe again. They continue, faster now. Urgency overcoming caution. They reach the far side. Relief is brief. More walking awaits. More suffering. The plain continues endlessly. Horizon meets horizon in white emptiness. No landmarks, no reference points. Only Craw's memory guides them. Only faith in his knowledge. Afternoon brings no warmth. The sun is visible but distant. Cold. Its light provides no comfort, no heat, just illumination of their misery. Of the vast emptiness surrounding them, Ren falls. He does not get up immediately. Others stop. They help him, pull him upright. His face is white, his lips blue. Hypothermia begins. They force him to walk. Movement generates heat. Stopping means dying. He walks, stumbling, barely conscious. But walking, they find a small depression, a slight dip in the endless plain. It blocks some wind, not much, but some, enough. They stop briefly. They need rest, need water, need to check their bodies. They huddle together. They share warmth. They drink from water skins. The water is partially frozen. They break ice with their teeth. The cold liquid burns going down, but hydration matters. Dehydration kills in cold. Silently, quickly, Sarah checks everyone's extremities. Fingers, toes, noses, ears. Looking for white patches, for frozen flesh. She finds some on Ren. His fingers are too pale. She rubs them vigorously, trying to restore circulation, trying to save his digits. Pain shoots through Ren's hands as feeling returns. He gasps, bites down. The pain is good. Pain means life, means the tissue still functions. He flexes his fingers. They move, stiff but mobile. He survives this test. They rest for half an hour, no longer. Their bodies cool quickly without movement. Already the cold seeps deeper. They must continue, must reach the valley before nightfall. Darkness on the plain means death, certain death. The afternoon trek is harder. Fatigue accumulates. Muscles refuse commands. Minds grow foggy. This is dangerous. Clear thinking preserves life. Confusion kills. They focus on simple goals. Next 100 steps. Then next 100. Then next, they see shapes ahead. Dark forms against white. Rocks. Trees. Hope. Surges, but distance deceives. The shapes are far, so far. What looked like minutes away takes hours to reach. The plane plays tricks, tests sanity. Finally, they arrive. Not trees, just large boulders. But boulders provide shelter. Wind breaks around them, creates calm pockets. They can rest here. They can survive the night here. Relief is overwhelming. They collapse against the rocks. Their bodies give out. They have nothing left. They walked for 14 hours, maybe 15, through impossible conditions. They should be proud, but they are too tired for pride, too exhausted for emotion. They must make fire, must create warmth, but they have no wood. The plain offers nothing, just snow and rock and ice. Craw searches desperately. He finds dried grass, small amounts poking through snow. He gathers every strand, every piece. They pile the grass. They work their firestones, striking, sparking, again and again. Their frozen fingers fumble, drop the stones, retrieve them, try again. Finally, a spark catches. Tiny flame, fragile, growing dot. They feed it carefully. Grass burns fast, too fast. The flame provides momentary warmth, psychological comfort more than physical heat, but it helps. It reminds them they are human. They can create. They can fight nature. The fire dies within minutes. No fuel remains. Darkness settles completely. Cold intensifies. Night on the plain is brutal beyond measure. They huddle together, all 10 bodies pressed close, creating a human ball. Preserving core warmth. Sleep comes in fragments, minutes at a time. Someone must stay awake, must watch, must ensure everyone breathes, must prevent the final sleep that never wakes. They rotate this duty, share this burden. The Night lasts forever. Time becomes meaningless. There is only cold, only suffering, only the desperate clinging to life. Some pray to spirits, some think of family, some think nothing. Just exist, just breathe, just survive. Dawn arrives, grey and grudging. They survived. All 10, frozen, hurting, but alive. They check each other. Frostbite has spread. Fingers are white. Faces are damaged. But they can walk. They can continue. They eat tiny portions of dried meat. The food is frozen solid. They soften it in their mouths. It provides minimal energy, but enough. Enough for another day. Enough for more walking. The valley must be close. Croft feels it. He cannot explain how, but he knows. A few more hours, maybe half a day. They can make it. They must make it. They walk again. Bodhi's screaming protest. Every joint aches. Every muscle tears. They walk anyway. They walk because stopping is death. Because the tribe needs them. Because they are human and humans endure. The terrain begins to change. Subtle at first. A slight slope. A gentle descent. Then more pronounced. Hills appear. The valley approaches. Energy returns. Hope fuels them. They increase pace. By midday, they see it. The valley spreads below, protected, sheltered. Trees grow there, dense forest. The sight is beautiful. Salvation made visible. They almost run, almost forget their exhaustion. They enter the valley. Wind stops. Silence surrounds them. The temperature feels warmer immediately. Still cold. Still winter. But survivable. Bearable. They made it. Against impossible odds. Against nature's fury. They made it. Now they must find food. Must justify the journey. Must save the tribe. The trek was only half the battle. The real test begins now. The valley delivers on its promise. The hunters find game within hours. Deer sheltering in thick forest. A small herd. 5 animals. Healthy and fat. They have survived winter well. Protected by the valley's embrace. The hunt is successful. 2 deer fall, 2 coordinated spears. The hunters work efficiently. They butcher, they preserve, they prepare for the return journey. Success tastes sweet, sweeter than the meat itself. They saved the tribe. They accomplished the impossible. The journey back takes 4 days. They carry heavy loads, meat wrapped in hide, dragging it through snow. The weight slows them, but spirits are high. High enough to overcome exhaustion. High enough to push through pain. The tribe spots them from a distance. 10 figures approaching. All walking, all alive, and carrying something. Carrying hope. The cave erupts in celebration. Crying, shouting, relief pours out. They feast that night. Controlled feasting. Rationed celebration. But feast nonetheless. Meat fills bellies. Strength returns to limbs. Color returns to faces. The tribe steps. Back from death's edge. Not far. But enough days pass into weeks. The meat lasts longer than expected. Careful rationing, careful preservation. The tribe survives, continues, endures. Then something changes, subtle at first. Easy to miss, but Craw notices. He always notices. The air feels different, less sharp, less cutting. The quality of cold has shifted. He mentions it to the chief. The chief feels it too. Something is coming, something changing. They watch, they wait, they observe. The days grow longer, minutes at a time, barely noticeable, but cumulative. Dawn arrives earlier. Dusk comes later. Light increases, darkness retreats. The balance shifts. The sun rises higher in the sky. Its arc changes. It climbs further before descending. Its light hits at different angles, penetrates deeper into the cave. These are signs. Ancient signs, remembered signs. One morning, water drips. A single drop from the cave roof, then another. Ice is melting, slightly, temporarily, but melting. This has not happened in months, not since autumn. The tribe gathers to watch, to witness this miracle. Liquid water, life returning. The dripping stops when temperatures drop again. But the message was sent. Winter weakens. Its grip loosens. Imperceptibly, gradually, but definitely. Birds return. Not many, just a few scouts. Ravens first. Always ravens. They circle overhead. They call to each other. Their voices break the silence of months. The sound is jarring, almost forgotten, but welcome. So welcome. The snow begins to change. Its texture alters. Morning crust forms. The surface freezes hard overnight. Supports weight. Walking becomes easier. No more sinking to the thighs. Progress quickens. Movement improves, but afternoons bring different snow. Soft, wet, heavy. The snow absorbs sunlight, converts it to water. Slowly, drop by drop, the snow level decreases. Patches of ground appear, brown and dead, but ground, actual earth. The hunters venture out more frequently. They find tracks, fresh tracks. Animals emerge from dens, from hibernation, from wherever they sheltered. Life stirs again, cautiously, tentatively, but undeniably. A child sees something green, a tiny shoot, pushing through melting snow. Green, the color is shocking. Alien after months of white and brown and grey. The child calls others. They gather around this small miracle, this proof of continuation, this promise. The tribe's energy shifts. Desperation eases. Not gone, but reduced. They can see the end now. Not tomorrow, not next week. But eventually, spring will come. They will survive. They endured the worst. They can endure the rest. Mira's death is honored properly now. The ground softens enough to dig. Not deep, but enough. They bury her with ceremony, with gratitude, with love. They mark her place with stones. She will rest among her people, among the land she knew. The baby is buried beside her, grandmother and infant. Together, the mother stands silent. She has no tears left, but she has survived. She will continue. She will have other children. This is not comfort, but it is truth. It is the way. The tribe expands their range. They explore further from the cave, finding what winter destroyed, what winter spared. They assess damage, plan repairs, think ahead. Survival mode shifts to recovery mode. They find a frozen stream beginning to flow. Ice breaks apart. Water moves underneath. Clear, cold, but flowing. They drink fresh water, not melted snow, not stale. Fresh the taste is incredible. Pure, clean, alive. Fish will return soon. With flowing water comes fish. The tribe prepares nets, repairs traps, sharpens spears. The river will provide. It always has. It will again. The wind changes direction. No longer from the north, now from the south. Warmer air pushes in. Not warm, but warmer. Relative warmth. Comparative warmth. Enough to matter. Ice on the cave walls melts. Water runs down stone faces. The cave becomes damp, almost humid. This creates new problems. Mold threatens. Furs must be dried, arid, maintained. But these are problems of living, not problems of dying. The tribe welcomes them. Sero spots deer tracks. Many tracks. A large herd pass nearby, moving north, following some ancient instinct. Following the thaw, the hunters follow. They track for miles. They find the herd. The hunt succeeds again. 3 deer this time. The tribe has surplus. Actual surplus. They smoke meat. They preserve it, but they also eat fully. They allow themselves satisfaction. Bellies fill completely. Children laugh. The sound is strange, foreign, forgotten, but it returns. Slowly it returns. Young ones play outside again, running, shouting, burning energy stored through winter. Parents watch with emotion. These children survived. Against odds, against nature. They live. They thrive. They play. Breck's frostbite healed as well as possible. He lost 3 fingers, 2 toes. He walks with a limp. His hands cannot grip spear properly. But he lives. He survived his sacrifice. The tribe honors him daily, through respect, through care. Through memory, he teaches young hunters. Passes knowledge, cannot hunt himself, but can create hunters. This is valuable. This is contribution. This is purpose. He has worth beyond physical ability. The tribe ensures he knows this. Torg's mother recovered fully. The fever broke. Strength returned. She works alongside other women. She processes new hides. She gathers early plants. She lives. Her son watches her with gratitude, with relief, with love. The nights grow shorter. Darkness retreats further. The tribe sleeps less, needs less sleep. Energy returns with light, with warmth, with hope. They begin projects, repairs, improvements, planning for next winter. Learning from this one, they discuss what worked, what failed, how to improve. Knowledge is survival. Experience is wisdom. They will not forget this winter. will not forget its lessons, will not forget its cost. 2 died, Mira and the baby. 2 out of many. This is success. Grim success. But success nonetheless. Other winters killed more. Much more. This winter was survived. This winter was conquered. The chief ageth visibly. The stress wore him. Carved lines deeper. Grayed his hair further. But he stands straight. He led well. He made hard choices. He saved the tribe. Leadership exacted its price. He paid willingly. Cross joins ache more. The track damaged him. Pushed. His aging body beyond limits. He knows his hunting days near their end. Soon he will teach only. Lead only. Hunt vicariously through younger men. This is natural. This is right. This is the cycle, but not yet. This spring he will hunt. This summer he will provide. He has a few good seasons left. He will use them fully, will extract every last contribution. This is his way. This has always been his way. The tribe ventures to high ground. They look north. The direction of the killing cold. The direction of death. Snow still covers distant mountains. Ice still gleams on peaks. Winter remains there. Will remain for months. But here, in the valley, in their home, spring approaches, green spreads, slowly, gradually, but visibly. Grass emerges, leaves bud, flowers prepare to bloom. Color returns to the world. The monochrome existence ends. Life reasserts itself. Birds return in waves, small ones first, then larger. They sing, they call, they mate, they build nests. They choose to live here, choose to raise young here. The tribe takes this as blessing, as approval, as sin. Children collect eggs, carefully, leaving some, taking some. The birds can spare them. The birds will lay more. This is balance. This is sustainable. This is how it works. A bear emerges, thin, hungry, dangerous. It approaches the cave. The hunters drive it away. They cannot kill it. Too dangerous, too large. But they make their presence known, establish dominance, protect their territory. The bear leaves, seeks easier prey. The tribe remains vigilant. More bears will come, more predators. Spring brings life, but also competition, also danger, different danger than winter, but real. They prepare defenses, reinforce barriers, sharpen weapons. Spring is not safety. Spring is different challenge. Different tests, but they survived winter. They can handle spring. The elderly who remained in the cave through the trek are recovering. They endured. They kept fire burning. They maintained hope. They held the center. Their contribution was essential, unrecognized during the crisis. Acknowledged now. The tribe holds council. All adults attend. They discuss summer plans. Where to hunt, where to gather, what to store, how to prepare for next winter. Always next winter. Winter always comes again. But between now and then, Between this moment and that future threat, there is spring, there is summer, there is abundance, there is life. They will live fully, live completely, live gratefully. The thaw continues, accelerates, snow vanishes, rivers swell, the land transforms. The frozen death world becomes living green world. The change is profound, almost unbelievably, but real. Witnessed, experienced, the tribe survived. All but two. They endured when winter meant death. They outlasted the brutal cold. They conquered the primitive darkness. They proved again what humans are, what humans do, what humans will always do. They survive. They adapt. They continue. Spring has begun. The tribe gathers in evening light, not inside the cave, outside, under open sky. This gathering is ritual, sacred. It happens after every winter, after every survival. The time has come to speak, to remember, to learn. The chief sits at the center. Elders form a circle around him, hunters behind them, women next, children at the outer ring. Everyone has place, everyone has voice. This is how knowledge passes. This is how wisdom survives. The fire burns. Between them, not for warmth now, for ceremony, for focus, for connection. Flames dance, sparks rise. The tribe watches, reflects, prepares to speak their truths. The chief begins. His voice carries weight, authority earned through survival, through sacrifice, through leadership in darkness. He speaks of the winter, its harshness, its cruelty, its lessons. He names those lost. Mira, the infant, their names spoken aloud, remembered, honored. He speaks of choices made, rationing food, sending the trek, hiding the seed. Hard choices, choices that saved them, choices that cost them. Leadership is burden. This winter proved it again. He carries these decisions, will carry them forever. Cross speaks next. He describes the hunt before the storm, the desperate race, the near miss with the bison's horn. He shows his torn fur, his scar, physical proof of survival, of risk, of success. He speaks slowly, choosing words carefully. Each word teaches. He talks about the trek, the frozen plain, the endless walking, the night without shelter, the valley discovered, the game found. He does not glorify, does not exaggerate, simply states, truth is lesson enough. Truth needs no embellishment. The other hunters add details. Each perspective matters. Each view completes the picture. One speaks of exhaustion, another of fear, another of hope sustained. Together they create full understanding, complete knowledge, shared experience. Breck holds up his damaged hands. 3 fingers gone. Stumps healed now, scarred. He speaks of tracking the goat, days alone, nights frozen, the desperate throw that killed, the impossible drag back. His voice is steady, no regret, no bitterness, only statement, only fact. He says He would do it again, would sacrifice again. The tribe is everything. Individual is nothing. This is core truth. This is survival principle. This is what separates humans from animals. Willingness to suffer for others, to die for others. If necessary, the women speak. Myra's daughter tells of her mother's final days, her weakness, her continued teaching, her peaceful end. Tears flow, but also pride. Myra lived well, died well, left legacy. This is all anyone can hope for. The baby's mother speaks, briefly. Her voice breaks. She cannot say much, but she says enough. Her child lived weeks, new warmth, new love, new mother's touch, short life, but life nonetheless. She will honor it, will remember it, will carry it forward. Other women discuss food preservation, what worked, what spoiled, leather eating, bone boiling, every technique examined, every method evaluated. They share improvements, better ways, smarter approaches. Next winter, they will do better. This is the point. Always improve. Always learn. Zero speaks of navigation, of reading snow, of finding signs, of keeping group together. She describes the river crossing, the groaning ice, the careful steps. She explains her fears, her doubts, but also her determination. Leadership is not certainty, is not confidence, is commitment despite uncertainty. The young ones ask questions. How did you stay warm? How did you stay brave? How did you keep going? The answers vary. Honesty prevails. Sometimes we did not stay warm. Sometimes we were not brave. Sometimes we kept going because stopping meant death. Simple answers, true answers. Torg speaks for the first time in gathering. His voice cracks. He is becoming man, growing, changing. He talks about the wood gathering, the blistered hands, the aching back, the satisfaction of contribution. He learned his value, his worth, his place in the tribe. This winter made him adult. His mother adds her story. The fever, the weakness, the tea that saved her. She thanks the healer publicly. Gratitude expressed. Debt acknowledged. The healer nods, accepts thanks, but says she only did what she knew, what others taught her, what Myra taught her years ago. Knowledge circles, returns, perpetuates. The healer discusses her herbs, what she used, what she saved, what she needs to gather. She lists plants, describes locations, teaches identification. Several women listen intently. They want to learn, want to help, want to preserve this knowledge. The healer accepts students, welcomes them. Knowledge must spread, cannot die with one person. Talk turns to preparations. What they should have done, what they will do next time. More wood, always more wood. Better storage, improved insulation, stronger entrance barriers, backup supplies, hidden caches, distributed resources. They brainstorm, they plan, they commit. Someone suggests splitting the tribe, half in one cave, half in another. If one location fails, the other survives. Discussion. Follows arguments for, arguments against. The chief listens, considers, makes no decision tonight. This needs thought, needs time. Will be decided before next winter. The feast day arrives with warmth, actual warmth. The sun climbs higher. It stays longer. Its rays penetrate winter's final defense. The cold retreats, step by step, day by day. Life returns. The tribe moves through mourning with purpose. Women prepare food, all the food, reserves brought out, smoked meat, dried fish, roots saved, seeds roasted. Nothing held back today. Today's abundance. Today is celebration. Today is life affirmed. Children run wild. Energy unleashed. Months of confinement explode into motion. They chase. They climb. They shout. Their laughter echoes off rocks, off trees, off the sky itself. Parents watch with full hearts. This sound, this joy, this is why they fought, why they suffered, why they survived. The hunters bring fresh game, killed this morning, deer and rabbits. Prepared quickly, cooking now. The smell fills the valley, rich, savory, irresistible. Mouths water, anticipation builds. The feast approaches. By midday, everything is ready. Food covers flat rocks, arranged, displayed. More food than seen in months, more than anyone remembers. It looks impossible, looks like dream, but it is real, earned, deserved. The chief stands. He raises his hands. Silence falls. Even children quiet. He speaks briefly. Thanks the spirits. Thanks the ancestors. Thanks the tribe. Each person contributed. Each person matters. Each person survives because all survived. This is truth. This is their way. Then he gestures. Begin, eat, celebrate, live. The tribe descends on food with controlled urgency, not greed, not desperation, but hunger, real hunger. Months of deprivation cannot be ignored. They fill their hands, fill their mouths, fill their bellies. The taste is incredible. After bland rations, after leather, after nothing. This food is ecstasy. Simple food, basic food. But to them it is feast worthy of gods. They eat slowly, savoring, appreciating, grateful for every bite. Children eat until they cannot move, then play, then eat more. Their bodies demand fuel, demand rebuilding, demand growth delayed by winter. Parents smile, let them eat, let them grow, let them live. Adults pace themselves. Years teach moderation, but they eat fully, satisfied fully, for the first time in forever. Bellies are tight, bodies are warm, hearts are full. This moment is perfect. This moment is earned. This moment is theirs. As afternoon settles, the tribe relaxes into contentment. Some sleep, some talk, some simply exist, peacefully, completely, without fear, without hunger, without cold. Present moment contains everything needed. Stories begin again. Different stories now. Lighter stories. Funny memories. Embarrassing moments. Gentle teasing. Laughter comes easily. Naturally, the tribe remembers how to be happy. How to be human beyond survival. How to live rather than merely exist. Brexits. With young hunters, he demonstrates techniques despite damaged hands, shows them tracking signs, explains animal behavior, shares decades of knowledge. His hunting days may be over, but his contribution continues. Different form, same value, same importance. The healer sits with her new students. They examine plants, learn properties, memorize uses. She teaches patiently, thoroughly. She knows she grows old. She must pass knowledge before she cannot, before it dies with her. The young women listen intently. They understand the gift. They accept the responsibility. Sira walks the valley's edge, exploring, mapping, planning. Her mind is always forward, always preparing. She finds new water sources, better hunting grounds, strategic locations. Information is survival. Knowledge is power. She gathers both constantly. Craw sits alone briefly, watching his tribe, his family. He feels his age, his exhaustion, his mortality, but also satisfaction, pride, purpose. He has lived well, provided well, protected well. If death comes tomorrow, he is ready. He is complete. He is content, but death does not come. Life continues. Spring unfolds. Days stretch longer. Warmth increases. Green spreads across the land like water, flowing, growing, transforming everything it touches. Other tribes exist. Other peoples, scattered across the vast lands. Each endured their own winter. Each fought their own battles. Each lost their own members. Each survived through strength and sacrifice and will to the north. Coastal peoples weathered storms. Ocean. Winds brought different cold. Wet cold. Penetrating cold. They huddled in driftwood shelters. Ate fish when they could. Kelp when they must. They survived. Barely, but survived to the south. Dozen peoples faced different trial. Cold nights, scorching days, extreme swings, no middle ground. They sheltered in caves, conserved water, endured. They know survival has many faces. Cold is only one. Each environment tests differently. Each demands different strengths. Mountain peoples lived with the snow, always. Surrounded, buried, isolated. They knew winter intimately, understood its moods, its dangers, its rare gifts. They moved with the seasons, migrated, adapted, survived through flexibility, through knowledge, through respect for nature's power. Plains peoples tracked the herds, followed them south, followed them to survival. They lived nomadic, always moving, always hunting, always one step ahead of starvation. Their winter was journey, was constant motion, was different struggle, same stakes, all these peoples, all these tribes, all these humans, connected by nothing except species, except determination, except refusal to surrender. They do not know each other, will never meet, will never share stories, but they share experience, share struggle, share humanity. Winter tested all, cold respected none. It killed without preference, without mercy, without meaning. It simply was nature being nature, indifferent, eternal, unstoppable, but humans stopped it anyway. Not the winter itself, but its victory, its completeness, its total dominion. Humans survived through intelligence, through cooperation, through sheer, stubborn will. They survive because they are human, because that is what humans do. The sun sets slowly, painting the sky orange, pink, purple, gold, colors absent all winter, colors forgotten, colors that seem unreal. The tribe watches silent, appreciative. Beauty matters, even to primitive peoples, especially to them. Beauty is life beyond survival. Beauty is hope made visible. The fire is lit, not necessity now. Tradition, comfort, connection. They gather around it. Not for warmth, for ritual, for togetherness, for continuation. Fire was life in winter. Fire is still center, still heart, still home. The night is gentle, soft, a caress rather than assault. Stars emerge, countless, brilliant, the same stars that watched their suffering, that witnessed their triumph, that will observe their continuation. Forever stars, eternal witnesses, silent companions. Children sleep quickly, exhausted from play, from food, from life fully lived. They sleep peacefully, deeply, no crying, no fear, no cold. Just rest, just dreams, just childhood reclaimed. Adults linger, quiet conversation, comfortable silence. They need no entertainment, no stimulation. Simply being together is enough. Simply surviving is enough. Simply existing in this moment is everything. One by one they drift to sleep, bodies relaxed, minds peaceful. The tribe sleeps well, under stars, under sky, under the protection of their own strength, their own unity, their own humanity. The night deepens, the fire burns low, embers glow, red, orange, fading. The valley is silent, peaceful, safe. Life sleeps, life rests. Life prepares for tomorrow, somewhere. In the darkness, a wolf howls, distant, lonely, calling to pack, calling to family, calling for connection. The sound carries, echoes, fades. The tribe does not wake, does not fear. Wolves are neighbors, not enemies. All creatures struggle. All creatures survive. All creatures seek pack, seek family, seek belonging. The echo continues. Not just wolf, but all sounds, all voices, all stories. They echo through time, through generations, through eternity. This tribe will fade, these people will die, but their echo continues, their legacy persists, their survival matters, because they are not the end, they are the beginning, the foundation, the root. From them come others, many others, countless others. Every human alive carries their echo, their determination, their refusal to quit. These primitive peoples, these ancient survivors, these frozen warriors, they are ancestors to everyone, to all of humanity. Their winter is our winter. Their struggle is our struggle. Their survival is why we exist. The night holds all of this, all of history, all of future, all of possibility. It holds the sleeping tribe, the dying fire, the silent stars. It holds everything that was, everything that is, everything that will be. And in the morning, they will wake, they will continue, they will live another day, then another, until winter comes again. And they will face it, and they will endure, because that is what they do, what they have always done, what they will always do. They are human. They survive. The night knows this. The stars know this. The earth knows this. And now you know this. To rest now. Sleep now. Dream of warm fires. Of full bellies. Of tribes that endure. Of humans who refuse to quit. Of ancestors who gave us everything, including survival itself. The echoes continue, forever, always, in the night.